Hello and welcome back to Solid. My name is Jake, and you can't win a game in the first quarter. No, you cannot win a game in the second quarter. No, you cannot win a game in the third quarter. You can only win a game in the fourth quarter. Your Battlehawks are 4-1 after the most frustrating 45-12 victory over the DC Defenders. My God, what a roller coaster. I mean, it's illegal what this team does. It's truly an illegal thing what this Battlehawks team has done. 45 points. 45 points they scored in this game while going 4 for 8 in the red zone and going 2 for 11 on third downs. It's illegal. It's an illegal thing that they do. You shouldn't legally be allowed to do that kind of a thing because that's illegal. I don't know why it's illegal, but it's illegal. Like, I know what I saw. And what I saw is something that's illegal. It's crazy. It's crazy. The offense, so goddamn frustrating. So unbelievably frustrating. With reason. I understand injuries are a thing. With reason, like that, I get it. But God damn it. God damn it. Man, they're 4-1. Your Battlehawks are 4-1. My name's Jake. Thank you for watching Solid. Always start off the show like this. If you're watching it and you want to listen, you can do that. I got Apple and Spotify. It's Solid on Apple and Spotify. If you're watching it, you want to see this, my untrimmed beard. Go to you can do that too. I've got the YouTube. It's at Solid Pod on YouTube. So you got those two options, but you don't care. You don't care about that. You care about the Battlehawks winning 45-12. Just an incredibly dominant score in a game that just offensively felt just so fucking monotonous, man. Why? How? The Battlehawks had 15 drives. They had 15 drives and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them started in DC territory. And they only scored a touchdown on 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. They scored a touchdown on 4 drives that started in DC territory. There were 3 field goals in a row in the first into second quarter. There were 3 field goals in a row. It just seemed like this offense could never punch it in. And to be fair, that DC defense at the beginning of the game and into the third quarter it played strong, dude. They played strong. They were lighting AJ up. The game started with the goddamn strip sack. That's how the game started. Do you remember? No, I'm sorry. The game did not start like that. The game started, and of course this happens. In the preview, I shit on Blake Jackson. I shit all over him. I did. And of course, the game starts with Blake Jackson getting, like a 60-yard kick return? Yeah, that happens. That's going to happen. That's going to happen to me. That's going to happen. And that starts to really kind of make you think, okay, we know Darius Shepard is good at doing kick returns and punt returns. Is it the special teams coordinator? I'm Googling this right now. I should have looked this up before. Battlehawks special teams coordinator. I'm not good at typing. Kyle Caskey, right? Is that correct? Kyle Caskey. Okay, I'm going to the UFL's website right now. Special teams coordinator. Kyle Caskey, running backs coach and special teams coordinator. Is it Kyle Caskey? Is Kyle Caskey the MVP of special teams? Well, not of the season. If Blake Jackson, this guy who I still have no faith in, can just rip off a 60-yard kick return right off the bat, Kyle Caskey, you are doing a bang-up job, and you had a real good game today. I'm going to get into that when it comes to defense and special teams, but the game starts with Blake Jackson just absolutely going beast mode on a kick return, 60 yards. The Battlehawks get the ball on the DC 25-yard line. AJ strip sack. Like, goddamn, this is not how we want this to go. They end up getting the interception. I can't remember who got that first interception. Was that Brandon Sebastian getting the first interception? I believe it was. I'm looking up the interceptions right now. Mike Rose got one. Milk check. Brandon Sebastian got one. And Cameron Kelly. I can't remember which one was which. I believe Brandon Sebastian got the easiest interception ever off of that Jordan Taamu. Just the ball was hanging in the air for, what felt like 10 seconds. It felt like 10 seconds, but he just comes up, jumps that. That was great. The Battlehawks do actually score a touchdown. I'm like, all right, baby, we're in business now. This game's going to be a game. This game is going to be a game. And then when we said that, we jinxed it, and the game actually was a game for the next 30 minutes. Battlehawks end up blocking the punt from the defenders on their next drive, get a field goal. Interception on the defenders' next drive, get a field goal. Force a punt on a 3-and-out, get a field goal. DC punches back, gets a touchdown. Battlehawks return it with a turnover on downs. DC gets another touchdown and goes into halftime on a very, very dumb Anthony Becht 2-minute offense. The guy's really dumb at this. Really dumb at this. That's just the fact of the matter. Then defense forces a punt on a 3-and-out. DC's defense forces a punt on the Battlehawks. The defenders miss a field goal, a doink, might I add. The Battlehawks punt the ball again. The defense forces another 3-and-out. Then the Battlehawks start cooking. Another field goal. Not really cooking, but they get another field goal. And then the defense, with just the performance of not all time, but goddamn phenomenal. The next 4 DC drives: fumble, turnover on downs, interception, turnover on downs, and then a block punt. So that's 5. Just truly the game was won by the defense. Truly, the game was. You give your offense the ball in an opponent territory that many times, you're gonna win a game. But Jesus Christ, it was so the 4 field goals. Andre Schmidt kicks for 149 yards of field goals. I believe Hakeem Butler has 147 yards receiving. Gee, guys, why is it so difficult? And it was so stressful too. You get 2 offensive linemen going down, a third one goes down. They have to bring in a hurt guy on an extra point. He gets blown up. AJ gets sacked. What was it, 6 times this game, or was it 3 times? No, he got sacked. He got sacked 3 times. Yeah, he got sacked 3 times. Jeez, and they were all violent sacks, and strip sacks, and it's just so. And it's so stressful. Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do with this? What are they going to what are they going to do with their offensive line? They got guys hurt. Oh, you know what an easy way to counteract that is? You know, an easy counter to having a bunch of hurt offensive linemen. Just a 1-play drive. Just an 80-yard throw to Hakeem Butler. That's a good way. That is a good way. If you happen to be some kind of coach out there and you're listening to this, number one, stop, because I'm dumb. But if you're looking to try to make sure that you can overcome some injuries on your offensive line, just throw an 80-yard touchdown pass. It's like not hard. Like, football's easy. Football's such an easy game. Just throw 80-yard touchdowns, and that way you can just not have to deal. You just not have to deal with your injuries really kind of piling up on you and stuff like that. But goddamn, man, what a game by the defense! What a game! The one drive that DC had, and it kind of felt like it was beginning to be the turning point of the game. They had a 10-play, 45-yard drive. It took about 6 minutes off the clock, and it was just such a kick in the dick after kick in the dick. Travis Feeney jumps up and does a flying headbutt to Jordan Taamu. Jordan Taamu had a bad day. Jordan Taamu had a really bad day. Specifically, that drive gets headbutted by Travis Feeney. Then on a couple plays later, that's a 15-yard penalty. A couple plays later, he goes to slide, and Quinterio Cole, just Jesus Christ, fella, thank you for not using your helmet. That would have been bad if he would have got taken out of this game. I don't know if it's like a targeting call, if it's like college and they suspend you for another quarter and a half, or if they just fine you. I can't remember what it is, because last year, remember, it was actually against DC. In that first game at DC, there was a big fight, and a bunch of people got suspended for a couple games. I Okay, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if that's just a fighting thing or what it is, but Jesus, they just keep going down the field and get their first touchdown, get points on the board, and that was really it that they had on defense or on the defenders had on offense. They scored 12 points in the second quarter, shut out for the other 45 minutes of the game. I mean, just bang up job, man, bang up job. But that first half was just like it seemed like the Battlehawks only had like 3 or 4 good plays, really, and that's kind of what got their points on the board. Everything else was just super stale. They were getting so much pressure. The running game wasn't really there. Although, again, Jake Saylor's really good game, dude. Really good game. The play calls were coming in late. AJ didn't have time to assess what the pressures the defense were going to throw at him. Greg Williams is on the sideline like, hey, AJ's looking at me. Shut the fuck up, dude. You greasy slime ball. If you don't remember, Greg Williams also the kind of the one of the what was it? Injury hit gate whenever the Saints were paying their, what the hell was the name of it? The Saints were paying their players to take people out of the game. Was it Injury Gate? Was it Hit Gate? I can't remember the name of remember the name of whatever gate that was. The gate is the blank gate is the blank strong, like when like Live Strong and the Houston Strong when they got hit by the hurricane. The blank gate, like deflate gate, those kinds of things. That's the blank gate is the blank strong of the controversy world. Anyway, first half, that's what I was talking about. They were failing in the red zone over and over again. They were not aggressive after the turnovers. They kept doing these stupid like little runs to the outside and these dumb passes that weren't working. It was just really not aggressive after turnovers. 2-minute offense was abysmal. Why am I coughing so much? It's not good. Not good to listen to. I appreciate you if you're hanging in there. But then really the fourth quarter. Tell me if you've heard this one before. The Battlehawks come alive in the fourth quarter. They score 14 points in the first quarter, 3 points in the second quarter, 3 points in the third quarter, 25 points in the fourth quarter, and Manny Wilkins gets one. What is this? This game was supposed to be close. It was a 3.5 point spread. The over-under was 47.5. Battlehawks get 45 points. This game was supposed to be a close, high-scoring game by both teams. No. Defense just stayed so strong. The defenders had -6 yards in the first quarter. Let me see if I can pull up these dry. Okay, in the first quarter, sorry. Well, this doesn't count sacks because Jordan Taamu took that huge sack. But this says without the sack, defenders had 9 yards in the first quarter. They had 98 yards in the second quarter, 40 in the third quarter, 38 in the fourth quarter. Second quarter was a little bit slow because of that drive, because of the penalties and everything like that. Let's see if I can pull up the penalties. Where's the penalties at? Penalties, the Battlehawks on offense, they had 3 penalties for 15 yards. There was an illegal shift, a false start, and too many men on the field. On defense, there's the roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness, and unnecessary roughness. So 45 yards on defense. Luckily, DC's offense, just killed themselves. Their entire team, they killed themselves. They had 5 penalties on offense for 35 yards, a holding, false start, delay a game, and then on defense they had the hold too. Man, it's really like there was a couple weeks ago where it was like this defense is in shit shape. They got injuries on the offensive or on the defensive line, and they still kind of do. But man, they came alive. Linebacker play was exquisite. Willie Harvey got a fumble recovery. Mike Rose, milk check, baby. You're gonna milk check a linebacker? It wasn't even a milk check, really. They weren't doing that. A milk check, obviously, that's where, not obviously. This is where a quarterback will throw a deep ball against like a white corner or a white safety to see if they can keep up with a wide receiver, a black wide receiver. That didn't need to be said, but I did say it. That's a milk check, making sure that he's a white guy. But Jordan Taamu, just a terrible, 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 terrible game. What was his stats? He was 12 for 23, 101 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and 52% completion percentage. They pulled him out of the game. And halfway through the fourth quarter, DC threw in the flag, threw in the towel, raised the white flag, and the Battlehawks like, you know what? Okay, let's not get into a situation where we have to deal with tiebreakers this year. Let's just beat the shit out of teams and put up a fuckload of points. But yeah, defense in the first half. In the first quarter, again, I think it was -6 yards when you're counting the sack. 2 interceptions and a blocked punt in the first half. Then they kind of started getting gashed in that drive with Travis Feeney and Quinterio Cole, who totally just destroyed that drive. I will say, Reggie Barlow, Defenders head coach, strong case for both dipshit of the week and coward of the week. Strong case. Colin doing his one challenge on a 2-yard AJ McCarron run on a hold. That's literally against everything. The two circumstances you can use a challenge in the fourth quarter or on a scoring play. A 2-yard QB run in the second quarter or in the third quarter goes against all of that, buddy. That goes against all of it. He is dumb. He's a dumb guy. And then he on a 4th and 1, he punted the ball. Ugh. This guy, Reggie Barlow, get out of town. You stink. You stink, baby. You stink. Ugh. It was fun. It was a fun game. Kind of. It was incredibly frustrating. Let's see what else I had. Oh yeah, the injuries on the offensive line. You had Juwan Bushell-Beatty. You had Vidal Alexander go down. I believe Vidal Alexander comes back in, like I said, and just gets blown up on that extra point. You had Steven Gonzalez go down. So in comes Eric Magwood, who played last year when I mentioned that suspension because of the fight during this game. Eric Magwood came in last year and played three games, so he actually does have some starting rest. But Donovan West came in at right guard, and then all the pressure was coming from that side after that. But they were able to adjust and kind of roll with the punches and throw 80-yard touchdowns, which is incredibly helpful. Man. Then we got the scare from Peasy. Still don't like it. But he just went out for cramps. It was good. It was good. 45 points is a hard thing to be mad about, but somehow I am. 4 for 8 in the red zone. Just incredibly stale offense in the red zone with Bruce Gradkowski kind of spearheading everything. Not a good hot mic game. Just like watching it the first time. When I watch it the second time, I got headphones on so I can hear things a lot better rather than a TV from across the room. But we didn't get a whole lot of cussing. We had Sam Acho on the broadcast say that he took his son to a defender's practice and heard Greg Williams, Greg with 3 G's, which is weird. We heard Greg Williams saying a bunch of words that he doesn't want a 9-year-old to hear. I hope your 9-year-old doesn't watch a broadcast there, Frella, because AJ is a sailor with that. That was weird. It's like this is kind of a full circle thing that we got going on here. But the defense held strong when it mattered. One of the turnover on downs is the defenders. It was like a 4th and 2. They did a power run and got the stop there. Love seeing that. What a game. Was there any other notable kind of standouts? Let's see. Jake Saylors, 12 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown. He was fighting, man. That guy fights for every yard. Wayne Gallman got a touchdown, 10 carries for 31 yards. Hakeem Butler, like I said, 6 catches for 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, had the 80-yard run. That is one thing about this, and maybe the offense can't be this stale because of now. I know Darius Shepard's incredibly important to this team, but is the offense this stale because they didn't have him? Is he that big of a loss? Because looking at this, AJ only threw the ball to 6 different people. So he threw 9 to Hakeem Butler, 5 to Jacob Saylors, who was the second leading pass catcher. He threw 3 to Ja'Cour Pearson, which I kind of thought that was going to happen. My other hesitancy with that was is he going to throw the ball more to Ja'Cour Pearson this game because Darius Shepard's not there? Turns out that's not the case. Marcel Aitman got the ball thrown to him twice. Stephen Mitchell got it twice. He came down close. I was like, man, we haven't seen a snap from him yet this year, or a catch yet from him this year. But he had 2 balls thrown his way. He almost came down with one of them. And then Kamari Aver at the tight end. Nothing to Jake Sutherland. I think he was just busy blocking because there was no offensive line. But yeah, A.J. McCarron went 14 for 24 for 213 yards, 2 touchdowns. Only had a 58% completion percentage, but a passer rating of 160.4. Yeah, and that's coming off of a game where he threw the ball 45 times. I kept seeing him like on the sideline and everything, like doing some arm stretches and stuff. Like, yeah, you're a 33-year-old man right now. You just threw the ball 45 times last week. You're probably going to be a little sore. I was really hoping, especially with kind of some of these collisions and hits that he was taking, that it's like, man, is he going to play next week? Is he going to be able to finish this game without a protection or anything like that, with him already like nursing that arm and everything? Like, is this going to be a problem for him? And maybe it was a little bit. He's still throwing the ball though, so that's a good thing. He tried running a few times. Like I said, he had the 3-yard carry. I guess it was 3 yards. I thought it was 2 yards, but the 3-yard carry on that challenge play. Manny Wilkins back. It turns out Manny Wilkins is the backup quarterback. I thought it was going to be Brandon Silvers, but Manny Wilkins, the reason I thought it was going to be Brandon Silvers is because Brandon Silvers is much more he's much more A.J. McCarron adjacent than Manny Wilkins. You saw Manny Wilkins is willing to tuck the ball and run. He almost seems kind of like that's what he wants to do. But Brandon Silvers is much more of a pocket passer. But I don't know. What are you going to do? Manny Wilkins ends up scoring, so that's good for him. Come in for half of a game and take over. I'll take that. What other notes do I have here? They're fresh out of linemen. I'm trying to see. Stephen Mitchell had a big return. That was good. And there was a 4th and few. It seemed that's what it was. That was another thing. These coaches just seemed like they were trying to out-coward each other. There was like a 4th and like 3 or 4th and 2, and Anthony Beck kicks a field goal. It's like, what? Well, okay, I get that your red zone offense is kind of being stale, but you can pick up a first down. You only need a couple yards. You don't need to take a shot. But Greg Williams did kind of have the offense's number there for a little bit until he really didn't. But man, that's kind of just it's just this started. Okay, first drive, start with the ball on DC's 25. Second drive, DC's 44, DC 7, DC 38. DC 29, DC 36, DC 9, DC 7. Man, these guys, the defense just played their little dicks off, man. It was real good. And how many sacks did we end up with there? Ended up with where's the sacks at? Ended up with 2 sacks, both from Peter Taumoi-Penu. That guy, he's good. You see Travis Feeney jump up and headbutt Jordan Taamu, and you're like, okay, that's kind of the player that he is. But Peter Taumoi-Penu, just very much more calculated, able to control his movements a lot more fast, getting after him. They kept him on the move. They kept him inaccurate. Let me see what the completion rates were for DC deep passes. They were 0 for 4. Any passes that were over 15 yards, they were 0 for 4. And that's kind of one of the things where this game came down to as well, is that the Battlehawks had 7 big plays. So a big play is a rush of 10-plus yards or a completion of 15-plus yards. Battlehawks had 7 big plays for 185 yards, and that's what I was talking about in that first half. It only seemed like there was like 3, 4, 5 like really good plays that kind of kept those drives moving. Other than that, they were incredibly stale. They just kept finding themselves on 3rd and long, just being behind schedule. Then they'd have a big completion. Hakeem Butler in the first quarter, big completion on 3rd down. Hakeem Butler in the first quarter, big touchdown. Like, it's that kind of stuff that we're seeing. But then on the other side of that, DC only had 4 big plays of just 54 yards. And that's where that 0 for 4 and those deep passes come into play. The defensive backs were playing lockdown. I don't believe there was a whole lot of like balls where that one guy, who's the guy on the defenders, the Kelvin Harmon, they kept him to 4 catches for 37 yards. His long was 15. So I guess maybe they did actually have that was one of their big plays. Yeah. But man, They kept everybody in check. Like I said, DC wanted to be a run-first team. Zakandre White was their leading rusher, 15 carries for 33 yards. Keep him locked down. They just the drive that DC had to score was, again, aided by the penalties, but they didn't have any big things. They didn't have those explosive plays. They try to run the ball in order to set up that explosive play, and they just weren't able to do that. I guess that's kind of the same thing with the Battlehawks passing game. Is they did not do screens this game. They did some screens. They didn't do a whole lot of screens this game. And maybe that's I told you. I said I hate screens. I do. I really do hate screens. But God damn it, it's hard to argue against their efficiency, man. It's hard to argue against that. And then they did hit a few screens. So I think Ja'Cour Pearson was one of them, and he got like 9 yards. It's like, God damn it, I hate it. I hate it that my feelings are dumb. But they really are. The Battlehawks ended up this game with averaging 13.2 yards per completion, 3.7 yards per rush. The first game in a minute that they didn't get over the 100-yard rushing mark, just 95 this game. But I don't know. That's where we're at. 6 penalties for 60 yards. Kind of sucks. I'm just looking at some of these numbers right now. Time of possession was 29:48 to DC's 30:12, which is kind of impressive given the way that a lot of those DC drives ended. But man, the defense, call it. I don't know how you want to call it. I just can't get over the defense. I can't. I don't know what you want to call it. I believe that you should consider it 8 turnovers. That's how I feel. They had the 3 interceptions and a fumble. Okay, those were all very, very good. Then they had 2 turnovers on downs. Those are turnovers. But I want to consider block punts. I want to consider block punts turnovers. Right? It would be dumb. I understand it's a special team play, and that's where what's his dick that we were talking about. Kevin, I need to learn his name and get it tattooed on my face or something like that. The special teams coordinator, I just talked about it. He's in charge of that. I get it, but I really want to consider that a defensive play. The team, let's just say this as a whole, because in fantasy it's defensive special teams. Let's just consider as a whole, the Battlehawks had 8 turnovers, which is it's incredible, man. It's incredible. I don't know. I think that's all I got. I'm in awe. Of a just such a stale offensive performance, yet putting up 45 points. What would the score have been? If they would have scored more than 3 points on those drives? Let's calculate that real quick. Okay, so there were 4 field goals. Okay, 4 field goals, and one of them was a long one, right? I don't want to do the math, but okay, let's say 3 field goals. Let's say 2 of them turn into touchdowns. So you want to add probably 5 points because the Battlehawks go for 2. So let's say 3. Let's say 8 extra points. So they could have put up a 50 burger if they would have scored 2 more touchdowns and 1 more 2-point conversion. Could have been a 50 burger. They could have won this game by 41 points. That would have been disgusting. But that's it. Get your game done Sunday afternoon. Get the rest of the evening to you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in to Solid. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, listening to me talk, listening to me be frustrated with this just a brutal, just disgusting offensive performance, both disgustingly bad and disgustingly good. 80-yard catch? Fuck you. Fuck you for that. That's gross. That is gross. I'm proud of Anthony Beck for not using his challenge. Thank you guys very much for listening to Solid. I will be back with you. This was week 5. We're halfway through the season, so I'm going to be back with you guys for like a midterm, just kind of reviewing where the Battlehawks are at with their team, where they're at compared to everybody else in the XFL. We'll get to that kind of a thing. And then I'll be back with you later on in the week with a bird's eye preview and a recap. I guess a recap and bird's eye preview. Once I go back and watch this, get really hypercritical about everything that's going on, see if these offensive linemen could actually hold their own, and see what the hell happened with this offense early on in the game. Fourth quarters are all that matter, baby, and 25 points in a fourth quarter is a good way to end your game. That's a good way to end an afternoon. I hope you all have a very good week. Thank you guys very much for listening to me. My name's Jake. This is Solid. It's at Solid on Spotify and Apple. It's at the Solid Pod on YouTube. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you and goodbye, and go Iron Birds, go Battlehawks, cacaw, any goddamn thing you say. Go Battlehawks.